I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing with a G. It's sad when the music to the movie is better than the movie itself. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get this shit over with, man. Today, I got to watch All Eyes on Me, the highly anticipated Tupac biopic. This is a movie that I really didn't have high hopes for because biopics I know are pretty much hit or miss. But a movie about Tupac, and Tupac is such a beloved figure in the rap game, just in black culture. No, just in culture, period. Not just black culture, just in culture, period. Tupac was such an important figure, and to do a movie on him, you have to do it justice, man. And my first pick to direct was John Singleton, and he was down for it, but then something happened. He had creative differences, and he had to back out of the film. So now we have Benny Boom as the director. Man, I'm just gonna come out and say it. This movie was just straight bullshit. I mean, I was disappointed, man, because I wanted to like this movie. I didn't have high hopes, but I figured I would get a good biopic. And lately with the biopics, they've been on point. Like New Edition was on point. Straight Outta Compton was on point, okay? But this movie here was just garbage. Man, like the first act and a half was so rushed. It was so jumbled. Spoiler free, by the way. I'm gonna try not to spoil nothing, but it's hard to spoil something like this because who doesn't know Pac's story? But I'm gonna try to keep the spoiler free. The first act and a half, it was so rushed. Like it jumped from one thing to the next thing. It just jumps all over the place, and it's like there's no time, no room for character development because it just jumps from one thing to the other. So it's okay. Let's see a little bit about his childhood. Let's see, his time in Baltimore. Let's see how he struggled, how the family struggled. Okay, how did Afeni Shakur get on drugs? Like it just went from one thing to the other, and in between you would have these musical numbers, and it was just a jumbled mess, man. Like I'm just watching this, and I'm like, okay, this is like a made for BET movie, or even worse, a made for Lifetime movie. That's how this first act and a half was playing out, and the title character Tupac, played by Demetrius Shipp. Um, those are hard shoes to fill. Like Tupac is such a larger than life character. Those are hard shoes to fill, and I believe he did the best he could. Like he had Pac's mannerisms. He sounded like him. He definitely looked like him, but he had none of Pac's charisma. He had none of his energy. Okay, there was nothing charismatic about him, and that's what made the movie kind of dull because yeah, he was playing Tupac, but it was so dull where you had no fun with this movie. Now I've seen most of Tupac's movies, okay, and in every movie that I've seen him in, he shined. He was a star. He was, you loved him in it. Even when he was playing a bad guy like Bishop, you loved Pac in the movies. But with this, it's like I really didn't care for his character. Now, the only interesting character in this movie was a character by the name of Nigel. I forgot what the actor that played him, but the character of Nigel, and he was the New York gangster that Pac befriended when he was in New York filming Above the Rim. And to me, he was funny. Like he had a scene where I just bust out laughing. Like he was a cool ass gangster, but he was funny with it, and he was probably the best character in this movie. But other than that, like Afeni Shakur, like there was no character development for her. Like there was no character development for anybody, even Pac himself. Like he played him the same from the beginning to the end. Okay, like you really saw no character arc really, and man, I just wasn't feeling this movie at all. Like, dude, even Jamal Woodard, who played Biggie in Notorious, he was in this movie, and even he looked like he didn't want to be in this shit. There was a couple of scenes I seen him, and he was like, "Man, what the fuck am I doing in this movie?" And I'm sitting there like, I can't believe I'm watching a Tupac biopic and it's this bad. Now, from the quad studio shooting through the Death Row years, I think that's probably like the last act of the movie. It was watchable. It was okay. It was okay. Probably mediocre at best. Okay, but it still could not make up for the film as a whole just being a mess. Man, I did not enjoy this movie. I didn't get my money's worth. I think they didn't do Pac justice at all. It's insulting. The friendship between him and Jada Pinkett, they really didn't. They had a couple of scenes together, but it really didn't look authentic. And from what I read, Jada Pinkett's not even happy with the way their friendship was portrayed. So very disappointing, man. I'm very disappointed this film came out like this. Even the way the movie ended, like it just ended almost like they rushed it. Like I'm like, this movie was a long movie. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It was long as shit, and it felt like it. You watch a movie like Straight Outta Compton, it's a 2 hour 20 minute movie, but because the movie has so much energy, there was so much, stuff to like about it. It didn't feel like a 2 hour movie. This movie, I felt every minute of it, and I almost couldn't wait for it to end. I'm like, just stop. I just wish this movie would stop right now, and I'll never watch it again. If you really want to see Tupac in his full glory, and you really want to see his story and see the man and the myth, watch Tupac Resurrection. Okay, avoid this movie if you can. Watch Tupac Resurrection, and it shows the story. It goes into detail about all the stuff that happened, and it is just a much better, light years better than All Eyes on Me. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna grade this thing. I'm gonna give All Eyes on Me a D, and the reason why I'm giving it a D and not an F is because the music, like, dude. I grew up on Pac. I grew up on his music, man, and just to hear his music again on them loud ass speakers in the theater was like I enjoyed that. Okay, so I'm gonna give it what saved it from an F is Pac's actual music. Okay, and the natural character I thought was funny as hell too. So yeah, that's my grade for All Eyes on Me. So what did you guys think about All Eyes on Me? I'm sure I might get flack because, man, how can you diss the Tupac movie? Man, I love Tupac just like the next fan, but dude, if a movie shit, it's shit. I just call a spade, man. I'm sorry. So what you guys think about it? Comment below, comment freely. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and this is Rashad G signing out.